Hello and welcome to episode 128 of Wing Sauce. And we have a lot of wings stuff to talk about, guys. A lot of exciting things. We have an action-packed episode here. And by the way, for all you listeners, you're welcome because we are we're going to give you a fun one today.
It'll be a fun
So-
one, and it'll also. This is Dustin. Did I hear something from you? Maybe I caught something. But either way, as we record this now, the Red Wings are undefeated. So,
Yep.
I mean, that's kind of
Big moves.
awesome. Yeah, huge.
Not only
huge.
are we have surpassed the wild card spot. We're exactly where I thought we were, baby.
first place.
Tied for first.
Yep, it's like when the Lions win their first game. They're like, oh, you can actually take a picture of them atop the division.
Yep.
But Dustin, how are you?
We won't talk about them.
Good.
Hey, Dusty.
Hello. Doing good. Just waiting for tomorrow. Hopefully watch another win.
Let's
From the
go,
Wings.
baby.
We just want to jump into the Wings, like take
Well,
our.
let's go.
First
Let's go.
bites. I just want to, for me. So yesterday we were talking before, but I had to catch up on I was gone in East Lansing with the group, and couldn't. Long story short, couldn't watch the game live, but I did watch the first one, and I will say on the first one, actually both of them together, they were kind of different, right? One was more one was basically a 1-0 game, the whole game, or 0-0. And I feel like that's a game last year or the past couple of years where they end up losing in overtime.
Close one, but we end up losing. Yeah.
Like they played a 50-minute game, and I thought the last 10 minutes, I don't know if there was a system change or something from the Lund, but it felt like they were losing some of the 50-50 battles. They were clogging the middle, so there wasn't a lot of scoring opportunities. But I don't know. I thought that was a really good way to finish the game after getting peppered for the last 5-10 minutes. So that was nice to see. And then yesterday, I felt like that was another, New Jersey's not great, but the team's fun. Team's fun to watch. The big guys are playing well. When I say big, I don't just mean Soderblom. I mean the stars on the team. And then obviously Elmer's doing some big things as well.
Guys, let's talk about that line. Is it the fourth line where the shortest guy is 6'3"?
Yeah, Sundqvist.
I mean, that line in the first night. Oh my God. I'm hoping that they're able to continue with this. But the energy that they had on the first night was really good to see. And you know what? We have all been very critical of a certain person, Michael Rasmussen. Fairly so, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
We're not wrong in doing so, but you know what? He showed a little bit, and we have to be satisfied with it.
That's what happens
as
when you
of
put people
now.
out with good players. When you
As
have a
of now.
well-rounded
Yeah.
line, that everybody just is better. And I feel like for the past little while, he's never had a line that if I was him, I wouldn't feel comfortable with some of the other people on the line. They just were, I don't know. It didn't look like clean hockey. It was like, all right, if you get out there and you can get off the ice without getting scored on, you did big things. Maybe if you find a goal, then that's good. But now I feel like they actually are controlling the puck. Nobody wants to mess with those guys. I mean, they're in the corners. They're somewhat skilled enough anyway, to be one of the better
bounce
fourth
off
lines.
of them.
I know it's a super early prediction, but I mean,
Yeah.
they're one of the better fourth lines in the league right now. I mean, if you take a look at those guys for production and just overall time on attack.
Yeah. Dustin, what are your thoughts on the first? Let's start with the first game. I mean, that was the immediate excitement.
It's pretty good. Like I was saying in the group chat, it's kind of sloppy starting out, but that's kind of expected with the first game. Defense was kind of, like I mentioned, it's kind of iffy. It's nice seeing a lot of shots on goal, though, compared to last year. I think they mentioned they had 25 or so shots on goal, which is more than they had all last year. In the first period, they had more than last season, which was nice. Nice seeing the puck getting thrown at the net as opposed to pretty much struggling to even make it past center ice. So that was good. Rasmussen looked good. Surprisingly, he had 3 points. We were talking earlier about
that means a lot coming from you.
Yeah. I mean, but it's time will tell. Yeah, exactly. Time will tell if it's only 3 points in 82 games. I'm not going to be too impressed.
Yep.
I don't think anyone will be. But yeah, no, I honestly, and by the way, we talked about this as well. Elmer Soderblom, drafted in the 6th round. I mean, is this guy not going to be a fan favorite or what? Like he's already a fan favorite.
Fan favorite for sure. And people should have. They're happy he made the team. Obviously, like I'm happy he's on the team because it's a fun guy to watch. Just like how big he is, like that alone right there is worth admission.
100%.
But people shouldn't have crazy high expectations for him. I mean, if he does anything somewhat productive, call that as a win. Like he's playing with the house's money right now.
He's just a 6'8" Dan Cleary, pretty much.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's out of the first. By the way. And I know we texted about this. Soderblom's mom is looking real good. Just going to throw that out there for everybody, just in case anyone was wondering. And I know that you were.
And I know people were wondering.
But so a lot of positives, though. Like you said, Dustin, a lot of shots on goal. That was something that we were begging for them the last couple seasons. Guys, if you have the puck, don't make a cute pass. Shoot the damn puck. That's all you got to do. Make it easy on yourself. So 25 shots, and I don't know, did we have 2 power plays in the first period? It's not like that really matters that much, but
they
regardless,
had 1 too, I think.
Did they? So yeah, we were on the kill for a little bit.
We were on the kill for at least 2.
Yeah. By no means am I trying to take anything away from what the Wings were able to accomplish in that first period. That was great. I think Husso looks great.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we have to pump the brakes on saying how, really talking about how great they are. But you know what? We're allowed to. It's exciting.
It is.
Like,
and it's different. Like even last year, we watched it. They were playing better. Like, oh, this team looks different than the team before.
Yeah.
This year specifically, this looks different than last year, and that's how a rebuild's supposed to look. That's not just us saying like every team it looks different. Like, of course they look different, but they're playing a better style of hockey. They're playing a full 60 minutes. Yeah, there's shifts where they don't perform, but there's not half the game where they're just falling apart. So far, again, it's been 2 games, but it is fun seeing a lot of new faces. You have a new coach behind the bench. You have a new goalie who obviously did amazing in his debut. So good for him.
So side note, did you guys see that Derek Lalonde was voted in, like, he was the 3rd most handsome coach in the NHL?
Yeah, it's got to be a joke, right?
Who writes this stuff? Like, I don't get it. I mean, I have no qualms with the guy, but he looks like the Penguin.
Yeah, I mean, it's a handsome dude.
He's got a huge nose. I don't know. Oh wait, by the way, in last night's game, I know that Bertuzzi went out. Did we hear anything on how he's doing?
No, I have not heard anything other than hand issue.
Yeah, that's kind of. I hope that he's able to return sometime soon, because that's the last person that we need to go out for a serious injury.
I mean, he was out. I don't know if it was last year, but 2 seasons ago with a back injury. I think it was last season.
No, it was 2.
It was 2 seasons ago.
Yeah,
two. Yeah, he played like almost all. He just didn't play in Canada with COVID stuff. So
which now he can, which is nice.
Yeah.
And
if he could stay healthy, that'd be great. And you have guys like Zadina and people you can pick up. So there are players that have played NHL hockey. You don't want obviously one of your top guys to go out, because you're not going to be able to replace Bertuzzi with somebody else on the lineup. But they're relatively deep, which I didn't feel like we could say that before. We talked about their 4th line already, right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's little pieces of progress that we have to really be happy with. The depth for sure. I mean, there were some guys that went out last year where you're holding your breath, like, oh boy, I hope this is this is going to be a dash.
Yeah, exactly.
But this year there's a different feel to it. You know that the veteran guys like Kopp and Perron are out there. You have a sense of confidence when they're out there for sure. So
I mean,
I'm liking that.
It's nice having a veteran defenseman as opposed to just having one person playing defense.
Right.
I mean,
D look better.
Yeah, it's insane. D looks better. Mata doesn't look terrible. Roenick still looks like shit. I'd trade him any day now.
I would trade him any day. I don't think he played.
I disagree.
Yeah, I don't think he looks bad. I just don't want him on the team. I'm done looking at him. Like I don't.
I got you.
But you just like him as just a person / hockey player.
No, I just like him as a Red Wings. I just like him as a Red Wing. I don't. He can go play any other fucking place. I just want someone else. He's taking up a spot.
I mean, I think he's been playing. He's played well. I'm very easy to like. You have a good season, and I'm fully back on board on your bandwagon for my team. So, play well. Work on things you need. Like I said, if you work on things you need to do in the offseason, you come back looking like a better player, then like that's what you're supposed to do.
It's a long offseason. Learn how to play defense, though.
Well, I think you don't. You limit the stupid plays, right? And I don't think he needs to be the best defenseman out there he'll never be, right?
He's not a shutdown defenseman by any means.
No, or just like even a top defenseman. But if you can if you can be somewhat valuable as like an offensive defenseman, okay, check that box, and then not make stupid plays to have like two like odd man rushes basically, then you probably are more valuable than not. Where before, like to your point, I feel like he just was a liability. There's odd man rushes all over the place. The team wasn't good enough. But again, I'll finish it by saying I'm happy to if you get a guy in return for him, he can be off the team immediately if you want to trade him.
Yeah. I'm never going to. I'm never going to say no to trading anyone, and that means anyone on the team.
But the list is getting longer for me anyway. Like, I keep on saying, as far as like before, it'd be very difficult to trade for me, like a Larkin, Bertuzzi. There Sider, Raymond, and now I'm like, well, now I don't want to trade those four, and then it's like, is it 3 other people? I don't know. The list is getting longer, which is a good thing. You want your team to have like 3 people that you would trade instead of all of them besides 4.
Yeah, I know what you mean. As far as like there's people you want to build around at this point.
Exactly. No, exactly.
But in closing for the Wings, I would say that it's really good to see this start from them. I mean, of course. Go ahead, Dustin.
I was gonna say, I mean, the Habs aren't terrible. Granted, they went from winning or being in the playoffs to not making the playoffs, but
they're in the shit for sure. They have a lot of growing to do.
My point being is it was nice having 2 teams such as the Habs and the Devils as opposed to going in playing say Tampa and fucking Boston or somebody. You know what I'm saying? So, Colorado. Yeah, exactly, Connor. So kind of easing our way in with some of those younger guys. It's just kind of nice
just to gain that confidence.
Sure. And I mean, this isn't a team that before past couple of years where they were beating teams that were bad because they were a bad team. Now the good teams find a way to win, and they should win games against bad teams. And I'm not saying they're like this good team already, but to take that next step, they do want to beat bad teams, and they should continuously.
I mean, they're
the teams they should beat.
So they have to beat bad teams because otherwise, those hard games that they're going to face down the line, where they probably might tie with a good team, and share a point. You're going to want those times when you got 2, right?
No, for sure.
So one thing I wanted to bring up before we switch over to the other game: how about those shitty video ads on the boards?
Oh, I was
the digital ads. It drives me crazy.
Hold on. So
I don't mind it at all.
I saw a meme. So this is the funniest thing. Everyone's seen Squid Games at this point, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Red, green button. One of them has ads on a jersey. The other one is the video board ads. And the guy's just like, oh shit, which one do I choose?
I'll take them on the boards all day.
So hold on. The problem with the board, sometimes when you're watching, the players sometimes like merge into the board and you kind of lose the player. It's like
and it gets pixelated. No, I get it.
Pixelated. Yeah. You're like, what happened to the puck and the guy? It's like the Matrix.
They'll work that out though.
I knew Tyler was going to say no to that stuff.
I would pick the ads on the jerseys just in the fact that I feel like, hear me out, I don't see them being like soccer jerseys where like they're going to be sold in the team store. There's going to be the regular, just the fucking logo, what have you. There's not going to be like the Bell Tire. Meyer. I don't think it's going to get to that point. Maybe exactly.
Well, you say that now, but I'm telling you guys, it's a slippery slope. So. And I'm a traditionalist. That's why Connor said that I'm going to be a no on any of this stuff. He's not wrong. I am
It's
no
a
on all this stuff.
money-driven league, people.
Oh, I get it.
If you
No,
want to
Connor,
compete
I
and you want to
get
be a
it.
major sport in America,
Especially
and you
hockey.
don't want to be a laughing stock.
Especially
money.
hockey. Especially hockey.
Connor, I get it.
Shut up,
Believe
Tyler.
me, I understand the business side of it.
Hold
Doesn't
up.
mean I have to like it. Absolutely
But
not.
there is one thing that we should all like. Paul Carter scoring in his how do I phrase this? His
debut?
No, not technically his
It wouldn't be.
debut.
Did he make the opening night?
No, I don't think so. I think, I think this is his first opening night. Like,
how about his first game-winning goal?
There you go. No,
there you go. I don't know if that for a fact. So
in the NHL, and
I don't know. I don't know if that's a fact either. I think he might have had another one too last year. But anywho, Paul, congratulations, buddy. You know, congrats on making the opening night roster and playing some hard hockey. Your names has been out there quite a few times as far as like when I'm reading, you know, like the after
article
games.
that you wrote. I'm just kidding.
Paul Carter
I've seen you a lot in my notes when I'm typing your name. No, you have been. I've seen you a lot too. So that's awesome.
It's cool watching you on national TV. I'll say that right now. Hey, I know him.
and you know something, guys. I gotta say, because I've been talking with him. I've been talking with him.
I'll mute him real quick. Hold on.
Not a big deal. I've been chatting with Paul, my captain from Team Elk.
I was gonna say, do you remember what team he was from?
He doesn't forget. I don't forget. And you know what? Guess whose captain is in the show? And not only on the show, Dustin, on your favorite team. And not only on your favorite team,
hold on.
but tearing it up.
Speaking of that, in all seriousness, so we were talking about earlier in the season as far as Vegas goes.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, they've had a pretty decent
start.
They're
3-0.
That's what I'm saying.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's but like
who
I talked
have
about
they played though, for real? I know they played Seattle Kings.
And
who else did they play?
Arizona.
So that's pretty easy. 3 games,
But-
but you're supposed to win.
Well,
You're supposed to win those.
I'd say that's two games that are kind of a toss up, and
The Kings are like,
Toss up. What are the toss up teams? You think
Kings?
Seattle is a toss up?
No,
I think
Arizona?
no. I think that Seattle right now is better than Arizona. I think that Seattle,
like, they're bottom 2 in the league.
I think
okay.
Yeah,
here's my point. The expectation this year for Vegas was what?
They're
in a rebuild, right?
Slightly better than probably Arizona and Seattle.
They're in a rebuild. So my point was, in the first 3 games of the season, I'm saying that your easy win is probably Arizona, right? And then your other 2 50-50 flip of a coin is probably going to be the other 2 games that they had. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe that's why, because I think that and we're spending too much time on this because it's like semantics at this point, but I don't know enough about Seattle. I just assumed that they were still garbage like they were last year.
Are you kidding? Have you seen their mascot? They're ready to go.
Troll. Oh my god.
Well, I was like, I would say that
terrible.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's good to see Vegas. The league is better when Vegas is good. And that sounds funny because they're not a traditional team, but they're very fun to watch.
Back in my day, I've always been a huge Vegas fan.
Yeah, right.
I remember when they first came into the league.
Yeah.
So you guys want to switch over to the
division winners, baby.
Oh, okay. We can talk division winners. I was just gonna say real quick. Second game, 2 of our newcomers, Sherratt and Perron, both had goals, and Kublik, which is nice. So it's nice seeing those 3 guys that we picked up in the offseason scoring and producing. And just adding to that depth.
You're seeing scoring from everywhere. That's what's great about, we all talked about the depth that's been added, and it's showing. So it's great to see.
It'll be interesting to see how I don't know if you guys read this, but the assistant captain is going to be kind of moving around.
Rotating.
Rotating. Yeah. So it'll be interesting and it's kind of interesting to see who wins that goaltending. The goaltending battle, if you will. Yeah, because it's like I feel like there's gonna be a legitimate, this is the person that,
you think so?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So Dustin, I don't know about this year. I understand where you're coming from, because Ned, it's kind of like it's almost like a tryout season for Ned, right? Because he needs to prove this year with help from defense that he can stop the puck and do well, right? I am a Ned fan. Let me preface by saying that. But I know that, towards the end of the season, he had some games during last year where it was like, well, he's not the same guy. So I'm hoping that he can stay consistent this year. I'm hoping that he and Husso can honestly be a 1A and 1B.
No, and I think that's what that's what the goal is. But I'm saying, I really feel like there's gonna be, there's gonna be a solidified person, right? And then the 1A 1B is nice, but sometimes I don't feel like it works. You kind of look at, like, I'm trying to think, like the Leonard Fleury, right? So when that was the 1A 1B, that really wasn't a 1A 1B. Let's be honest here. It was essentially, let's get Leonard in there and let him take over because we're moving Fleury. So it's like one of those things. I feel like I'd rather see a goaltender that we're using. It's nice to have that the goaltender that we can bring back in that's, we're confident in. But at the same time, I like having that one goaltender in there, that we can use.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, it's going to come down to that you have. I think it tends to sway more in the 1A 1B. I totally get what you're saying, Dustin. I think it's going to come down to, like, whenever they do make playoffs at some point, hopefully, right?
This year,
who's like the starter is going to be like who is starting that that series, and that'll be like, oh, that's who your starter is. You're not going to start your worst goalie, but
right. I
think that you can play basically 50-50, and you're seeing a lot of the teams that struggle later in the postseason was when they have a good starting goalie and they don't have a good backup goalie, because they're playing like 90% of the games.
You're showing your cards at that point.
Yeah, and you just are getting so tired. There's going to be an injury. There's going to be something will happen. Yeah. So to make these long runs, you're seeing it more and more where, you have a stud that's a goalie. He could be like a Vezina winner, but he's only playing like half the season because you need him to go so deep in the playoffs.
That's what made 08 so dangerous with the Hasek and Osgood, is because you had a 43-year-old and a 35-year-old or whatever, two old guys, right? Phenomenal. And they were still so good in their own right. I think Ozzy got a bid for All-Star that year. Yeah. But they split the season. So every team that played them was like, oh, what are we getting? Are we getting an easy goalie tonight, or are we getting a tough one? Both were tough.
Yeah. And I still think that Ville Husso is probably the starter, if you want to put that. I like around the league, what I've read, I feel like that everybody that knows goalies think that he's a better goalie. Nedeljkovic is still, I'm not going to say he's like a young guy, but he hasn't played that many games, and neither has Husso really. But from talking to people that have watched goalies and know what they're talking about, like, I'm not that person. I'm a fan when it comes to goalies. I can watch, whatever. But that just sounds like he's kind of the more sound goalie.
And so on that, I think that's what bit the Blues in the ass, right? Husso played most of them for the season, and they threw Bennington in the postseason. And I think that's what fucked him, in my opinion.
I think was Bennington hurt, you're though? Right. Or no?
No. Yeah, Bennington was hurt at some point in the season, but the point being is they should have just left Husso in there.
Right. Yeah. That was a favor. Yeah, that was like a favor for Benny to be like, hey, this is what you did in the postseason for us.
Like, hey, you won us a cup already. Do it again.
It's your net.
That's essentially, I felt like, was 100%. On your point, Connor. Do you guys want to talk about division winners?
Absolutely. Let's go. Let's start with the Atlantic, and who wants to kick us off?
Not me. I'm pulling.
I can. Go ahead.
But
I can go.
Right, what you got?
I am gonna say.
And if it doesn't start with an R,
sorry,
you just better start with an R and end with an S.
Oh, no. I have a steak dinner bet, and they will make the playoffs. But
on that,
so I honestly, guys, I was thinking Toronto, but their goaltending scares me.
Austin Matthews, the goaltender.
Yeah, Austin Matthews, the goal with Mitch Campbell jersey on.
With Mitch Marner as the fucking defense. All right, real quick. I thought that was a joke.
Oh no,
I thought that was a joke until I legitimately watched the game and Mitch Marner was playing defense.
Well, so the Austin Matthews playing goalie was a joke, but the
Austin Matthews goalie was a joke. Yes.
Yeah, but the Marner playing defense thing is that's not a joke. But here's the thing. They picked up Matt Murray. Does that make them stronger? No. Are they pretty solid with D? Yes. Murray's out for the next 4 weeks. He's a question mark to me. I can't honestly take them as my favorites for the Atlantic. Here's where I'm going. I'm going with Boston, and the only reason why is because they have youth goaltending. They have a tandem for youth goaltending that are very good. They brought back Krejci. Is that going to be the X factor? No, but I think that he's a damn good veteran. He's been there when they've won it, and they need that type of guy to win important games.
He looked good opening night. Scored a goal.
So that's my pick is the Boston Bruins.
I mean, their window's closing. I think like they probably have
should have been closed 3 years ago.
It should have been, but somehow they keep on pulling shit out of their ass.
That's what I'm saying.
Anyway, Dustin, you got one? You want me to go? Go ahead.
So the Atlantic, it's one of those divisions that kind of, I wouldn't say weakened themselves, but it made it a little bit more like everyone's kind of neck and neck, right? There's not really that one that you're like, oh shit. Like
there's a lot more coin tosses this year.
Yeah. Like
last year there was more surefire.
Well, exactly. Like Tampa, bingo. Tampa's going to win it. Right. Yep. Or, you know, whatever. But this year I'm kind of like, it sucks because I like Tyler's idea of Boston. I don't know.
Go with your heart. Go with your heart. What does your heart say?
My heart says freaking Boston, but I hate Boston. But I'm the same way as you. It's like I feel like
I do too. I don't like them.
I just feel like I just think what you said is pretty valid, right? They have that younger goaltending. They do have some of that veteran presence. I don't think Toronto's going to be too competitive in the fact that they're going to be leading the division.
I think they'll be speaking of 1A and 1B. I think that Toronto will be 1B. I don't think that their goaltending is up to snuff. That's my only problem.
Same.
They're going to be.
Go ahead, Connor.
I was just going to. My pick is Toronto.
Okay.
Loser.
I mean, that's not a bad pick though. Like it's either going to be Boston or Toronto.
The reason, what I see is I think that they're going to be, and I know we've been talking a long time on Atlantic. So real quick, I think they're going to be right there the whole time. I think that the team, the owner, the GM, they're going to be doing whatever they can do before the deadline or at the deadline.
This is it. Yeah.
To pick up anybody. And I think if there's a goalie out there, like I think that they're going to be close enough in points to where the deadline is.
Oh God.
To be right there, and then the acquisitions that they're going to have at that point is going to push them over the edge. That's why I don't see the team right now, but I think they're going to be right there, and they're like
watch them pick up Bryce.
Real quick before I move off the Atlantic, where do you think the Red Wings are going to finish? Go ahead, Connor.
I mean, I think we've talked about this too, right? Like they're just going to be right in a potential wild card spot. Are you asking for like where in the Atlantic
finish the season?
Yeah, where in the Atlantic you think?
I don't know. I mean, I think I had a Montreal, I had a Buffalo, ahead of the Florida, right in that, like right around where Ottawa. I think they're somewhere around there, midway through.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking. Like 4, roughly around there, probably.
I mean, they're not.
They're getting
Boston.
in.
They're not the Lightning. They're not the Maple Leafs. They're kind of below. I see them anywhere kind of in that 4 or 5 range.
Yeah. Yep. Same.
They will be wild card 2.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
The last wild card.
I like it.
To get in. They'll be wild card 2.
All right. Let's move
Metro?
to. Yeah. Let's go Metro.
Finish out Eastern.
Yeah. Let's go Metro.
I'll go. I went last.
Yep, do it. Run it.
Dustin, I think you and I are on the same wavelength.
Maybe.
Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
They're wagon.
Yeah.
They're an absolute wagon.
Honestly, you know what? Now that Connor says it, because this is honestly like I'm juggling these. I'm juggling Carolina and New York.
Yep.
New York Rangers, excuse me, not Islanders. So I'm juggling these two. I feel like this has to be a big year for Carolina. New York has a very bright future ahead of them. And you know what? I'm just for the sake of this, for friendly competition, Connor, I'm going to go with Carolina.
All right.
And I think that I think that this is a very important year for Carolina. And if they don't start making some waves here, then they have to start doing something else. They have to either disassemble or make some sort of big move. I'm not sure, but I think New York. Real quick thing, I think New York might be one of the youngest rosters in the NHL. If I'm not
they're
mistaken.
young. Yeah,
they're like the third youngest or fourth youngest, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So on Connor's Ranger point, did you see Reeves beat the shit out of
what a picture, by the way. Did you see the photo from the corner?
Yeah,
oh my god, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Anywho, I'm gonna go with Tyler with the Canes. You know me. I like the Canes. I think they're a quality team. I agree. They got to do
Rod the Bod Brindamore. Come on, baby. Let's go.
All right. Pacific.
Connor, you want to kick us off on this one?
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is one of my tougher divisions. Divisions that I can see a lot of different teams.
Bad.
They're all kind of bad. I think that Edmonton in the regular season, when you get that much McDavid, you get that much Draisaitl, that like they're gonna just put up numbers. Yeah, and just for my own sake, I just want to watch them play more. I have said it a million times. Like they're my favorite team to watch because it looks like he's a video game out there. He's so far and away better than everybody else.
We're in a simulation, by the way.
It's honestly ridiculous watching them play.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, I could see them not winning. This division is all over the place.
It really is. I don't know.
It is a Holland team, mind you.
True.
That's the problem, right? He ruins everything.
Who you got?
I'm thinking the Flames might be pretty decent this year.
Mm-hmm. That was gonna be my other team, which is sweet for the league. You want
most improved team.
Calgary.
Yes. Yep.
Most improved team, I think.
Yep. I think the Flames are gonna be surprising come the end of the season. So that's my pick.
Kadri, Weegar, Huberdeau. I mean,
poor Kadri.
I think
this fat ring by himself. And
oh, you think he cares with all the money he's swimming in? He doesn't give a fuck.
And his fat diamond ring with a ruby on it.
Yeah, he's plugging his ears from everyone else talking shit. All right, finish out with the Central. Dustin, who you got?
I'm going to pick. This is also an interesting division. You know, you got Minnesota and Dallas, who
I think it's a runaway.
It's not an interesting division for me. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Colorado for sure.
Yeah.
Is that consensus?
I'm just saying you got Colorado. You got Minnesota and Dallas who make a little bit of a ripple. I mean, Colorado is by far probably one of the best teams in the league, hands down. I mean, granted, they just won a cup, but
St. Louis is always up there too. I get that, but you got Nashville, you got Chicago, you got
Chicago.
Let's listen to me. So I'm saying that they're the doormat of the league.
Okay.
They're trash. Arizona, they have a lot of. This is a lot of you getting points. You're getting points against Arizona, the Blackhawks, the Predators
on national TV in a college stadium.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think that everybody's playing for second there.
Yeah.
Nope, for sure. I like it.
All right. So I think we got our division picks locked in. I'll make sure as the historian that I will write those down.
For sure won't forget those.
For sure won't, because last year I was like, who did you guys have?
Back.
Right.
Like I have no idea. Who's in first in all these?
Yeah.
That's who I had.
What's on second?
I know the ass tattoo thing we said we should do for the playoffs, but I'm telling you, it makes it more ripe when you say it in the beginning of the season.
I don't think it does though, because
in the end it's just like you have like 8 teams and it's like, oh, I'm gonna pick.
Well, you're only saying that because you're running out of real estate. You're running out of space to put
my ass.
buddy.
I got plenty of ass space, dude.
Well, prove it
for days.
Yeah, ass for days.
So much ass.
Prove it.
I'll throw something big on there, whatever.
Hey, if the Wings win the cup this year, I will tattoo my entire ass as the winged wheel.
There you go. There's your
my whole ass.
No, technically, they would fall into the
and then the wings on the other side.
They fall into the ass tat team ish. They're not bad enough to just say no.
We all make a pact right now.
I like how a virtual pinky pact.
Yeah, virtual pinky swear
to VPP.
Holy shit! All right,
so let me be clear. I want a steak dinner for them making the playoffs. I don't want a gigantic tattoo across my ass.
When they win the cup this year,
you know what? I will be so happy. I will be so happy.
What's the odds on that? Holy shit, that'd be a ridiculous bet right now.
Throw money down.
All right.
everyone was hammering the over. What was the over under was 84.5. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hugh bet on the over. He said.
Yeah. He put some cash down on it.
He did. He told me. I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
All right. I like his style. I got some stuff to talk on the back end, but you did. Tyler had another topic of discussion, or what do you want to call it, Tyler? The battle,
another debate, baby. Let's get it going. Where, it doesn't have to be strictly locked towards.
I don't think it's a debate as much as it's
more of a conversation. Yeah, conversation. But it's fun because we post this stuff to the listeners to find out kind of what their, where their minds are at.
Should we look now or after?
Really after.
Okay.
Because we like to have the conversation first. I haven't looked at it. So we've all voted, correct?
I didn't vote. I didn't vote this time.
Go ahead and put your vote in because I voted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Connor, you did? Okay.
All
right. Go ahead and put your vote in, but do not reveal the results, please, until we finish. So here's what I'll say, because you guys, I feel like are the true titans in this. With this debate, but who is the biggest draft prospect bust for the Wings, and I would say to keep it friendlier towards our listening base, we'll it's really over the last 10-20 years, right? So
people that we know,
yeah. So I will go ahead and just reveal who we all have. Connor has Jakob Kindl. Great pick. For Connor. I mean, it's a great pick for Connor.
It is a great pick. You can just stop right there.
So Dustin has Thomas McCollum. I think that might be the dark horse in this. I have Thomas Jurko. And so I will kick things off. So Tomas Jurko drafted a 35th overall. He was supposed to be the next YouTube sensation. That's actually why we got him, is because of how exciting he was. He set records in Major Junior. He had, I believe, at the end of his Major Junior career, 239 points in 211 games. So we drafted him under those false pretenses that he was a sick player. So I'll begin with that.
No, those are fact, by the way. Those aren't false pretenses.
Okay, that was my opening statement. I have a lot more to say, but we will go to Dustin.
All right. So Tom McCollum, and everyone knows how bad I hate drafting goalies. That's like my number one pet peeve. And so
was Tom McCollum a goalie?
Yes.
Oh, never saw him, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, fair. Because he barely played. So he was listed as the top North American goaltender by Central Scouting ahead of the draft.
What year was he drafted, by the way, Dustin?
2009.
I didn't even
2008.
Oh,
2008.
Okay.
So
the year we won the cup. Great.
Right? Yeah. So he had
that was our first pick. Was a goalie after the year we won the. Okay.
So the AHL and the ECHL, he played in 2009, 2010, had a terrible season. Luckily, though, he made his first NHL debut in relief of Joey McDonald. The best part about this is he had 3 goals in 8 shots, and they pulled him back out and put the old guy back in. So
solid pick.
Yeah, he did.
Good job, Kenny.
He did get sent up and back down. He did make another couple more appearances, but didn't do too well. So. Yeah, Connor, what do you got?
Yeah, so I have Jakob Kindl.
He was really good, by the way.
It was a good pick by me. Is about what he was.
That's the gist of it.
So yeah, I can go down okay, all of these guys that are getting picked at this point, I could read the draft thing. It's going to make him sound amazing. What really stands out is that he basically didn't play, not a great player. He was 19th overall, which is the highest pick out of all of our picks, by the way. The highest pick. So
played the most, by the way.
More expectations. Guess who was drafted in the heaviest round of draft picks ever, basically, 2005. This is who we missed out on. Here's a little.
He was in the 05 draft?
Oh, God. All right, let's hear it. I'm ready for this.
Chris Letang, Jonathan Quick, Ben Bishop, TJ Oshie, Cagliano, Niskanen, James Neal,
Stop it.
Pavlik,
he's already dead. Stop
Halverson, Like it goes on forever, and that's who we
It
got.
goes on forever.
So think about it. Go look at 2005. It's probably one of the best drafts of all time.
Right up there with 2015. 2015 was unbelievable.
So when you go down that list, 2015 was. But when you go down that list and you think about all these guys that could potentially not only be they're household names, right? None of those guys played for the Wings, and everybody knows them. If you even sniff a rink, if you ever watch the game, so that right there just was like it's the worst pick ever.
So
Connor,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, can you bring up because I honestly don't know this. Can one of you guys bring up how many years he actually played in the
6
NHL?
years.
Because 6 years. So how many with the Wings?
I'm not sure, but I think his average is like 0.25 points.
Okay. That's not that bad, honestly.
What?
First of all, he played, but none of his. It's not like he played 6 years at 82 games.
No. Sorry. Yeah.
He had like 25 games one season, 3 games another, 48, 39, 39 games, 4 assists.
So
for 19th overall. I mean, again, this is all relative to a
glad
draft.
we passed on Letang.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. Or any of the couple of Vezina Trophy winners in there.
And
Keith Yandel, who played however many games in a row. But yeah.
So needless to say, though,
here's what I have to say.
All right, what you got?
Here's what I have to say. In Tomas Jurko's first 36 games. Well, you started like you were going to go on a rant, so I was going to let you go, Dustin.
Oh, okay.
So throughout his first 36 games, Tomas Jurko had 15 points, right? Not bad for a debut, right? For, a 35th pick overall. Mm-hmm. Over his next 123 games, he had 17 points. Not so good. And I would say that is a huge bust. And by the way, the kid's 29 years old. He left the organization in 2017. He is banished from the NHL back to the KHL, baby. You know what? He was all check and no finish.
How many points did you say he had? How many games?
17 in 123.
So I just want to do a quick math right here because those were his first 123 games. Jakob.
His next 123.
His next 123. So in Jakob's first 51 games, so you can do the math, multiply it by 3, however you want to do.
Defenseman, by the way, different statistic expectations. Let's be real.
4 points.
I think that's solid.
for a oh no, 2 goals, 2 assists. This guy was a goal. He couldn't be stopped.
I mean,
all I can say
threat.
Is,
a threat on the back end.
So on my pick, Ken Holland could have chose Roman Josi or even Jake Allen as opposed to Tom McCollum, but no, we chose Tom McCollum, who barely played the NHL. He plays in, I think, the Czech League now.
I'll say the jury is still out on Tom McCollum.
Yeah, he's still out.
He could come back.
He could come back.
He did already. I said this before. I said he got drafted. He got drafted. It's very hard to label somebody a bust, which is the purpose of this conversation. When the team that you talk about him being a bust for, they want him back, and they give away a pick, a 7th round. He's not worth a 7th rounder, and they gave him away.
Hey, I mean, honestly, he's about worth a 7th rounder. Let's be honest here. That's why they should have picked him up.
What did we get? So we need to look up what we got in return for all these clowns that we're talking about right now.
I don't know. A bag of pucks.
A bag of pucks, maybe like a water bottle.
Hey, there's one thing that we all share in common. We could all agree upon. Ken Holland, what the fuck were you doing?
He makes some shitty ass.
What were you doing?
Draft picks.
So
is it the scouting's fault or is it Ken Holland's fault? For ultimately,
he makes the ultimate draft pick, but he trusts his.
He trusts the people that he put in place. So at the end of the day, it's his fault either way.
Yeah. I like it, Connor. I like your reasoning.
Yep. And he made enough money to have all the blame that falls on his feet anyway.
Oh, by the way, one of the worst quotes ever, and I'll never forgive him for this. I can't believe that he said this during a press conference. Well, if you're expecting cups, you're in the wrong league. What the fuck? Who says that? What are you talking about? It's your job.
It's like that's literally just doing your job.
It's literally the only thing that's on your resume.
So yeah, that's why Ken Holland is no longer in the organization.
Oh, that could be another debate. And you know what? All three of us can torch him, and I can't wait for that. Anyway, but I think that pretty much does it for closing arguments, unless anyone has anything else to.
Nope.
Close in on?
Nope. So the fans voted, and their choice for biggest prospect bust was Tom McCollum at 53%, Yurko at 37%. And then Jakob at 11.
I feel like it's because people know the name Jakob, and they're like, well, if it's like if I was gonna look at something, I'd be like, well, if I don't know the name, they got to be a bust.
That's fair. That's fair.
So wait, hold on. So you're saying, so you said Tom McCollum was number 1.
Yep.
Yurko 2.
Yep.
Kindle 3.
Yep.
Yeah. So if they did that again after the hearing this debate, they'd probably switch it to Kindle.
Throw it back up. So one thing I did want to mention is I got my golf simulator set up.
Nice. It looks great.
It does look nice, right? Connor, yeah. I'm coming for you next year. I don't know what. I don't know what, but I'm coming.
I'm coming.
I'm coming. Hey, I'm coming.
Not downtown. Sure when. You're not going to know when.
You're not going to know
where. But I'll be there.
I did want to bring up what do we have anything else? I want to bring up one more that could be a potential debate real quick, but it might need more time.
What do you got?
It goes back to
we need suggestions, by the way, from the listeners.
Yeah, please do. But now that the Wings are playing again, there'll be more to talk about. But anyway, just going back and Dustin just not liking Larkin and not thinking that he's a good player that should be it's just outlandish. It is just outlandish.
That is not exactly what I said. So
it's probably in better ways. Like I just said it easier. And
that's not what I said, but we'll get into that next week. But
hold on. We don't know if Dylan Larkin, we know how he can play hockey, right? We don't know if he's a good person. He still theoretically has Connor's jacket.
It's true. Yeah.
Actually, I saw him wear it to the rink yesterday.
He had it during the red carpet ceremony.
He did. He was wearing
rubbing it in your face, Connor.
He's like, "Oh, look at this Lions jacket, so nice."
I think he signed it and gave it away.
Yeah, no, it was a fire starter for him, I'm sure. Like, why the hell is this in my house?
I don't know. But there was a lot of goose feathers in that one.
But I couldn't believe what you were talking about, Dustin. I just had to make sure.
Oh my god! Okay, first off, to be fair, there are other listeners out there that
Repent.
No, I'm not repenting. There are other listeners out there though that sent some messages that we'll get into next week. But yeah, good one, Connor.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with the people is they just look at it directly from. I get it. I said it, and I think you guys have done it before. I do it. But you have to be realistic about looking at what people make compared to what other people make, the team that they're on, and the point production.
But hey, to be fair though, this is Larkin's contract year, right? So it kind of goes into play with what I was saying. What does he sign for? What are we giving him? Is it front loaded? What have you? That's a good conversation we should have, I think, as far as like what we think as far as contract.
The cap's going up by like 20 million, so he's going to get more. Yeah, in like 2025 or something like that.
Okay.
So he's going to get more than if it didn't move. He'll probably get another like 1 to 2 million more.
Right.
It's funny that it's happening that late too, because the Leafs will be fucked before then.
Oh, right. Yeah. They're already fucked.
Yeah, that's my point.
Anything else, boys?
No, I think that's it.
Hey,
that was a great epi, boys.
Yeah, we got Kings hockey tomorrow. Who else do we have this week? Anybody else? Do you know?
I didn't look at the schedule. I'll be watching them though.
Yep. So
undefeated, 82-0.
All I can say is no thank you to you boys. Thank you to my my brother-in-law for letting me watch hockey.
Yeah. And you can look at your league, your team leader in points.
Watching it.
Your captain, Mr. Dylan Larkin. But
okay, so next week we only have 2 games. We got the Kings and then the Kings and Blackhawks, and then we will be watching the Ducks game when we are recording next week. So let's get the puck out of here and we'll see you next week.
See ya.